Well, good morning, guys. It is Monday, and I'm just going to open this package on camera here. We had something sad happen over the weekend. We had an outside dog. I didn't talk about him very much because people can be pretty cruel on the internet, and some people just don't agree with dogs living outside, and he was our outside dog. He never had lived in the house ever, and we already have 3 dogs in the house, and we kind of took over his care. He used to be my dad's dog, and then my dad couldn't take care of him anymore. We kind of took over his care, and his name is Bear, and he was our guard dog. He guarded our chickens against predators. He was a very, very good dog for that. He protected them against foxes. He was an awesome possum killer. If he got a hold of a possum, they were dead. He was a really, really good dog. He was a sweet dog, but he just couldn't live in the house. And so I didn't talk about him much because I didn't want to get any flack from anybody. And I know my regular viewers would never have given me a hard time, but just people like passing through my channel or trolls or whatever. You know, people can be pretty cruel and they don't know the situation, and so they make assumptions. Anyway, I didn't talk about him on camera because of that reason, but Bear in January would have been 16 years old, and he was getting more and more feeble, as older dogs do, and we decided that it was time to let him go over the Rainbow Bridge. So we had to have him put to sleep over the weekend, and of course I cried and cried and cried. But because he was not a house dog, I decided I didn't necessarily want to have him cremated. So we buried him back in our little pet cemetery, but I didn't want his grave to go unrecognized and over time forgotten about. So I bought this little statuary thing here, and it's a solar light. It's made out of metal, so it's weather resistant. And Bear was just a Heinz 57 dog. He didn't have any particular breed. And I thought this silhouette kind of looked like him. And so this is what I bought. And let's see. Turn it on. It's going to have to charge in the sun before it will light up. But I thought it would look cute on his grave during the day, and then at night it would light up. So let me read the directions to make sure I'm doing it right, and then we will go put it on Bear's grave. All right, this is our little pet cemetery, you might want to say, out here. We have lots of family pets buried out here. Olivia's hamster, one of my cats from years and years ago, different rabbits and ducks and chickens and all kinds of things buried out here. But right here is Bear's spot. I just put this here temporarily until I found something on Amazon that I wanted to get. So the only thing is out here, I don't know how much sun it's gonna actually get to charge that lantern, but we'll see. Let's see. I don't think I want it down in the dirt that far. I just want it kind of that far. There we go. That's better. Yeah. That's nice. Maybe I'll get some fencing or something to put around it sometime. Don't really have any right now, and this time of year isn't the best time to buy that kind of stuff. It's more in the spring, but of course I could get it off of Amazon. You can get stuff off of Amazon all the time. So anyway, there's Bear's resting spot. All right, while I'm outside, I am going to set up a little, I don't know, nest box isn't the right word. A little spot for Half Pint and the other two cats, Pumpkin and Latte, if they want to. I can't force cats to do anything, but I've got this big pet carrier and it's been sitting outside. I had to use it in an emergency situation for one of my chickens. And then when we got done using it, I was gonna hose it out and clean it, and it got left sitting outside while we had a ton of rain over the weekend, which in essence cleaned it out for me, but now it's wet and it's kind of dirty, so I need to get it wiped off. And I'm going to put an old rug inside here, and then a heating pet heating pad. And I'm going to take the door off the front of it, and I'm going to put a blanket over the top of it, and then that way Half Pint will have like a little warm oasis to get out of the weather, because it was actually hoodie weather this morning, and it's supposed to get below freezing this week, and I want her to have a nice cozy spot to be in for the winter. I'm very thankful that Bear is not going to have to go through another winter outside. Now, we did provide for him very, very well. He had a really, really, really nice, cozy building that he stayed in. And he had a heated water bowl so that his water wouldn't freeze. And he had a heated pet mat so that he could lay on it, and he was cozy in there, but still, and he was an outside dog, so he was acclimated to the weather. But in my human mind, I just always felt so bad for him. Although, as far as like animals go, he probably had the best life because he was outside all the time. I know my dogs, both Oliver and Percy, probably love it if they were outside all the time. Although they have become quite the pampered pooches, and they like sleeping on the couch. And I think Percy's going to be a dog that likes to burrow under the blankets, because he has done that a couple of times since the weather's gotten colder. He's become a burrower. Okay, so this is nice and dry. The rain cleaned it for me. So I guess procrastination is not always bad, because I was procrastinating it. I mean, it wasn't even that dirty, because the chicken was only in here for a few hours. but you know, I wanted to clean it out. So anyway, now it's cleaned out. I don't know if I can get the door off of it though. I don't think I can get the door off of it, so I'm gonna have to just leave it with the door hanging open somehow. Yeah, just like that, I guess. I can put the food crate in front of it so it doesn't get accidentally closed, because a cat can easily get in there. So the next thing I have is just an old rug that I'm going to put down. It's in there perfectly. And that just kind of puts a barrier between the cement and the heat pad. So I'm gonna get this out of the box and get it hooked up and put in there, and then I'll bring it back. There it is. Fits almost perfectly. It's a little too long, but that's okay. We just have it kind of hanging out since we aren't gonna be closing the door anyway. I have the cord kind of bungeed to the door, and right here's the controller. So I can easily reach in there and change the temperature or turn it on and off however I want to. And then I have the cord fed through one of these holes on the side, right up here to be plugged in. So that works out perfect. Now I'm just gonna drape a blanket over the top so that these vent holes are covered, and it'll, you know, keep the heat inside there a little bit better. I've got this blanket. It is really, really worn out. Super worn out. In fact, I almost threw it away earlier this year, and then I hung on to it, and now I'm glad I hung on to it because it's perfect for this. Now Half Pint's cozy little nest is ready, so she can be nice and cozy this winter. And like I said, there's theoretically room in there for 3 cats. Whether Pumpkin and Latte will oblige and go in there, I have no idea. But it's there for them to use, and if they're smart, that's what they'll do. It is finally hoodie weather. And it's finally time that I can actually bake something and not worry about heating up the house. So you knew that before Vlogtober was over, I was going to have to make something out of this book. And what I've decided to make is this cake. It's called Hot Chocolate Pumpkin Cake, but strangely enough, there's no hot chocolate in it. It has chocolate chips. And it said that you can dust it with baking powder, or not baking powder, baking cocoa after it's cooled if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. So it's basically going to be a pumpkin cake with chocolate chips in it. And the other thing that makes it hot chocolate, it's kind of a play on words. It calls for ground chipotle pepper. I don't have any of that. I have ground cayenne, so that is what I'm going to use. And so let's go ahead and get started. It takes about an hour for this cake to bake, so I want to get it in the oven. My oven is preheating at 350 degrees. I have my bundt pan all greased and ready to go. So let's go ahead and get started on this recipe. So the first thing you're supposed to do is you are supposed to beat the first 7 ingredients until well blended. Those ingredients are 1 can of pumpkin, 2 cups of sugar. I am using coconut sugar, 3 large eggs, a half a cup packed brown sugar. I'm going to be using a combination of coconut sugar and molasses for that. Half a cup of butter melted. Of course, I'm using my dairy-free butter. Half a cup of canola oil. I am using avocado oil. And a tablespoon of vanilla. So let's get those blended. In a separate bowl, we're going to mix together the dry ingredients, which is 3 cups of all-purpose flour. This is 1 cup, and this is 2 cups, so that equals 3 cups. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. This is a 2 teaspoon measure. 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, which I always put heaping because I love cinnamon. 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. If you do have the chipotle pepper, I guess you could use that. I've never even seen that in any of my stores, so I don't know anything about it. And 1/4 a teaspoon of ground nutmeg. I have whole nutmeg here. I never know for sure how much I have. That I'm sure is close enough. I'm almost out of my whole nutmeg. I'm gonna have to find some somewhere. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So then you whisk these dry ingredients together until they're just nice and incorporated. And then you're going to just gradually add it to the wet ingredients until everything is nicely combined. And then it says to add 10 ounces of miniature chocolate chips. Well, I don't have any miniature chocolate chips. Plus, I am still trying to do the sugar. No sugar. So I've got this package of dark chocolate baking chips by Chalk Zero, sweetened with monk fruit. Now, this is only a 7-ounce bag, and they're not miniature, but I do have a few in here left. So I think between what's in the jar and what's in this bag, that'll be 10 ounces. So I'm just going to dump them in here and mix them in real good. Yeah, perfect. Alright, it is ready for the oven. It's going to bake for 55 to 65 minutes or until it tests done in the middle. While that cake is baking, and it smells so good, by the way, I bought some of these plant supports off of Amazon, and they're for my philodendron and my other like ivy plant that I have. And sorry about Olivia's bird. He doesn't like it when she's not home. But anyway, I'll just show you. Instead of trying to explain what these things do, I'll just show you what they do. All right, so here's my philodendron plant, and it's doing really well. It is just like vining like crazy, but that's the problem. It's vining like crazy. And I was looking on Amazon for some other type of plant supports, and I found these, and I think these will work really nicely. I'm gonna have to water him when I get done. You can put these just in at this height, or you can, if you have a really tall plant, you can push them together. But I'm not gonna need to do that because these are not really tall. You just stick these down in the dirt, and then you just take these vines and you wrap it around it. Something like that. I almost wish I had some that were like a little like this tall, but I don't. So I'm just gonna have to make do with what I have, and I can't put the two together because then it'll hit my ceiling. It won't work right, trust me. So let's see. So you basically just, sorry, my hand was in the way. You basically just vine it around. Now they sent some of this stuff, but there's no explanation what you do with this. So I don't think I'm even gonna need it. So I'm just gonna go like this. And it's supposed to help your plant grow better because they like growing up rather than down. And that kind of holds them up. So let me get it in place, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I was able to do the stack two of them together, which that worked out really good. I mean, it is literally touching the ceiling, and I couldn't push the plant back because my ceiling slopes down and it wouldn't fit back there. So I had to rearrange things a little bit, but I think the plant is going to be so much happier. Now, the other plant I wanted to work on was this one, and I have a feeling that I don't have enough of those vining, like those plant stake things. But I'm gonna go ahead and put them in there, the ones I have, and then I might order another pack. Well, that actually looks pretty good, I think. It's really hard for you to see because I know it's backlit, but I think my plants are going to be much happier, and I honestly don't think I need to buy any more of those yet. Eventually I think I will need to, but as of right now I think I have plenty and I'm not going to need to buy any more. So yeah, that worked out pretty good. If I remember, I will try to link those in the description box below so that you guys can get these if you have any vining plants that you'd like to try to train to do a little bit better. And from the research that I did, it said that these vining plants really do like to grow up. That's why they're vining. They like to crawl up the side of things. So I think it'll make them happier. All right, I just pulled it out of the oven. It tested done. It was in the oven for right about 65 minutes. I tested it at 55 minutes. It wasn't ready. And tested it at an hour. It wasn't quite ready. And then at 65 minutes, it finally tested done. So I'm supposed to leave it in the pan, cooling on a wire rack for half an hour before I remove it from the pan. So I will bring you back when it is out of the pan and completely cooled so that I can cut it and we will give it a taste. All right, while that cake is cooling, I brought this plant stand up from downstairs, and I need to bring that aloe plant in from outside. I meant to do that several days ago and never got to it. So let's get that plant brought in because it's really chilly in the evenings and overnight hours. Alrighty, there it is. I think I'm gonna have to get a pan of some sort to put under it because I think that has a drain hole in it. And I don't want to find out the hard way when I water the plant. I'm not going to need to water it for a while though because we had a ton of rain over the weekend, and so it is thoroughly saturated, but I am going to have to remember to do that. But the rest of my plants in here need some water, so I'm going to get that done, and then it's going to be time to go pick up Olivia from school. All right, it is fairly cool. I mean, it's still a little bit warm, but I'm going to go ahead and cut a slice and give this a taste. It looks kind of dark, but I think that's just because of the coconut sugar. It didn't burn. It's not burned. Ooh, it's moist. There it is. Let me give this a taste and I'll let you know what I think. Yep, it's delicious. It's hard to describe really. It doesn't really taste pumpkin. It doesn't taste like pumpkin spice. It just tastes like a really moist, mildly spiced cake. You can't taste the cayenne pepper at all, but you can definitely taste the chocolate chips. And it's just a really delicious, moist cake. I hope you guys give it a try. All right, friends, this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this video for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today and kind of puttering around and getting some things done that I've been needing to get done. I will try to remember to link that plant stand, spiky, I don't know what you call it. I don't know what they're called. Support, I guess, is what they're technically called. In the description box below if you are interested in that. And I hope that you try the cake. I did include snapshots of the recipe here in the video. All you need to do is pause the video at that spot and take a screenshot so that you can try this cake at home, or you can just hand write it out if that's what you would prefer. But doing it that way makes it a lot easier on me, so that I don't have to try to type all of that information in the description box. But anyway, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. And I will see you all tomorrow with another brand new video for Vlogtober. Bye-bye, friends.